Nairobi and the people of Kenya that you always attend your committee meetings. If that will help your politics, so be it. So let's proceed. Familiar with, and therefore we hope of knowing what transpired yesterday. You're a member of SBC. Therefore, we hope to have a wonderful interaction with you. Yes, Senator for Nairobi, you had some clarifications to sort?
Honorable Speaker, I was under the impression that we were also expecting the CS for education today. Maybe you can clarify what happened, because communication from the Secretariat had indicated as much, and there were questions that were directed at the CS.
Senator for Nairobi, that is the problem of not attending your committee meetings. You're a member of SBC, and this is a matter that was discussed at
Speaker, I am not a member of the SBC, please. I attend committee meetings. Okay. Don't soil my reputation. You know that I left the SBC after serving for 2 sessions.
Okay, if you left SBC, then let me give you what transpired.
Please, but Speaker, you have to withdraw that I do attend committee meetings because my reputation is on the line. If it was a slip of the tongue, you just admit, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Nairobi, do not go on overreach. Please, I understand that you served in SBC committee, and it is only recently that you left that particular committee, and therefore you may not have the advantage of knowing what transpired yesterday at SBC. Just to inform you that when SBC sat yesterday, it considered a letter that was written by the CS Education. It is true what you said, that indeed the CS of Education was expected to appear before the House this morning. However, in that particular letter, he indicated that he will be involved in the drama gala in Nakuru as the Minister of Education, and therefore he will not be able to appear before the House. You know, the drama festivals actually fall within the Ministry of Education, and that is happening in Nakuru, and therefore, as the CS in charge of that docket, he cannot be able to be with us because he is the one who is actually midwifing and managing that particular event. And having deliberated the letter, the contents of the letter, the SBC found it fit to accept that reason as a valid reason. And that's why you cannot see the questions in today's order paper. I believe the Senator for Nairobi, that is satisfactory. We acknowledge that you're no longer serving in the SBC, and I want to state to the people of Nairobi and the people of Kenya that you always attend your committee meetings. If that will help your politics, so be it. So let's proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to raise a question in the Minister for Information, Communication and Digital Economy. Question number 055. Could the Cabinet Secretary state the strategies in place for the establishment of network connectivity in Todanyang, Merukuka, Natete, Lepeimukat, Natira, and surrounding areas to facilitate real-time security response and support the Kenya Defence Force, National Police Service, and local community. B. As the Ministry engaged with telecommunication providers such as Safaricom and Airtel to fast-track the deployment of communication masts and system in this high-risk location, and If so, what are the timelines for completion? C, what actions are being taken to ensure that the security agencies, including KDF and NPR, have reliable and secure frequencies and communication channels to respond effectively to security threats in the region? And D, what immediate intervention will the ministry take to bridge the communication gap before the full deployment of network infrastructure? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And indeed, as you said, I am familiar with this area, and I shall respond with your permission, Mr. Speaker. On the first question on establishment, and Mr. Speaker, kindly allow me to mention that there is an annotated document which was forwarded in this morning, and the only difference between the first answer and this one is where we have said certain things will happen. I asked my ministry to be able to put those things in perspective of time allocation for when those things will be done. So with your permission, I may respond, sir. The ministry, through the authority, interventions under the Universal Service Fund, USF, has successfully established a mobile cell tower in Todonyang, which is currently on air and providing mobile services to the surrounding community. Mr. Speaker, the authorities' coverage, according to the authorities' coverage data, Natira sublocation enjoys over 80% area coverage. To further address connectivity needs, the authority will conduct quality of service assessment, which will be done within the month of June 2025 in Marikuka, Natete, Lope Mukat, Mr. Speaker, and Natira. The outcomes of these assessments will inform structured engagements with mobile network operators aimed at enhancing service delivery in the identified areas. On question B, Mr. Speaker, whether the ministry engaged in telecommunication providers such as Safaricom and Airtel to fast-track the deployment of communication masts and systems in these high-risk areas. In response, Mr. Speaker, yes, indeed. In line with the regulatory mandate, the authority requires licensed operators to extend services through universal service obligations embedded in their licensing conditions. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, the authority has provided direct support through USF, facilitating the deployment of mobile network infrastructure in such areas, notably under the Cellular Mobile USF project as follows, Mr. Speaker. 1, Phase 1 extended mobile cellular services to 10 sublocations, namely Nakoret, Nakurio, Lokangai, Lokudule, Lopusiki, Naposomuru, Kapus, Naipa, Loikipetot, Arengan, and Nadome, which is Silali. Phase 2, Mr. Speaker, technology is covered, Todonyang is covered under Phase 2 that has extended cellular mobile services to 13 sublocations, namely Loreng, Lortit, Puch, Nanam, Oropoi, Loremiet, Loitanit, Tondonyang, Kataboy, Lorengelup, Kayamanik, Loduat, Namorapuv, and 5 sublocations within this phase, namely Kangitit, Ngilukia, Katilia, Loperot, and Kalapata are still under the acquisition and are scheduled for implementation in the financial year of 25-26, Mr. Speaker. Phase 3 plans to cover 10 sub-locations, namely Loboy, Lomiyan, Liwan, Kaitadet, Nadunga, Lokipoto, Loito, Mogila, Lotubai, Ekidor, and are still under site acquisition and are scheduled for implementation in the financial year 2026-2027, Mr. Speaker. Phase 4 plans to cover 16 sub-locations, namely Lochor, Edome, Atala, Kamusio, Tukwel, Lochar, Ekeni, Katiko, Riakamor, Kokiselei, beg your pardon, Mr. Speaker, Nachukui, Lomekwi, Kitelomate, Namor Kirionok, Tarach, Kanaudong, Napiakar, Koyasa, Kaitede, and these that are still under tendering. These ones are still under tendering and are scheduled for implementation in the financial year of 2027-2028. On question C, the actions to ensure security agencies, including KDF and NPR, have reliable and secure frequencies and communications, Mr. Speaker. In response, Mr. Speaker, the authority assigns dedicated and secure frequencies to security agencies upon formal request. These frequencies are located on an exclusive basis, thereby ensuring reliable, interference-free, and secure communication channels for national security operations. On the next question, Mr. Speaker, about immediate interventions to bridge the communication gap before the full deployment of network infrastructure. In response, Mr. Speaker, the authority plans to undertake a field assessment within the month of June 2025 in the areas identified as established current communication gaps and requirements. Based on this assessment, Mr. Speaker, the authority will engage with licensed operators to explore interim measures, including possible network optimization and quality of service improvement initiatives to ensure short-term connectivity support as broader infrastructure deployment continues, Mr. Speaker. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the authority remains committed to supporting national security, public safety, and digital inclusion through targeted regulatory interventions and strategic partnerships. The measures highlighted above demonstrate the ongoing efforts by the authority through the Universal Service Fund and collaboration with licensed operators to enhance network connectivity and ensure secure, reliable communications in high-risk and underserved areas such as Tondonyang, Merikuka, Netete, Lopei Mukad, and Natira. Moving forward, Mr. Speaker, the authority welcomes continued engagement with the Ministry, the Senate, and other stakeholders to address emerging challenges, accelerate infrastructure deployment and connectivity, ensuring that communication services are accessible and responsive to the needs of both citizens and the security agencies. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lominan, you have a chance to ask 2 supplementary questions.
Chair, my supplementary question, after listening to the submissions of the Cabinet Secretary, could the Cabinet Secretary explain to this Senate why has been the delay of establishing network in the border areas of Turkana County, and even not Turkana County alone, even in the nation? For example, there is poor network in border of Kibich and Ethiopia, Nadapal, border between Southern Sudan and Kenya, which is Lokchogyo. At the same time, in Logriama, a place called Orum, which is bordering Uganda and Kenya. And this delay of establishment of network in those border areas has really became cumbersome for security forces to act when a problem or incident has happened. It becomes difficult for them to assist the citizen in that place. So when will the ministry establish a border network to confirm to the citizen that security services will be available anytime?
Honorable CS, you may respond.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the supplementary question. And in response, Mr. Speaker, the ministry's emphasizes very much on connectivity of high security areas, and indeed the entire country, Mr. Speaker. But for areas where we do not have fiber optic, Mr. Speaker, we are working with satellite providers like Starlink, ATC mast, so that we can use their facilities to be able to give connectivity, especially on the mobile platform. But you realize, Mr. Speaker, that we have a plan to run 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic. But on those areas where there are security issues, we rely on our collaboration, Mr. Speaker, with the other providers like ATC, Safaricom, Starlink, those that have capacity to do satellite provision of services. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Senator Daniel Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable CS, just note down the questions, because I'm going to allow about 10 senators to ask questions. Thereafter, you will rise to respond to them at a go. Proceed.
And first, let me thank the Speaker for taking the Senate to Turkana, because this question is very familiar. And Mr. Speaker, when we were there, a lot of committees visited the county. Mr. Speaker, I would like to welcome the CS and ask him, now that security is very much connected to communication and is in charge of communication and to an extent development, what is he doing about that so that the Turkana area and the big potential of having big towns there and big hotels in the future can be realized?
Senator Mungatana.
Asante Bwana Spika. Waziri, mimi ningependa kukuuliza, tangu ulipochukua mamlaka hiyo, and congratulations and pongezi kwa kupewa hiyo nafasi. Tunafurahia sana wale wenzetu ambao tulikuwa na wao wakipewa hizo nafasi. Swali ambalo tungependa kuuliza ni kwamba tangu ulipoingia pale, je, wizara ama wewe umetoa mwelekeo wa namna ambayo hizi simu za rununu na telecommunication itafika katika Kenya nzima, haswa sehemu zetu za hizi gatuzi ambazo ziko kando kando? Kwa mfano, sehemu yetu ya Tana River, utakuta ni katika zile miji mikubwa peke yake ambao unapata simu za rununu zinafanya. Ukianza kuingia ndani, kunaingia shida. Sasa nilikuwa nataka kuuliza, je, kuna mpangilio mwafaka, mpangilio maalum katika wizara ambayo umewekwa na pesa ya kusema mwaka huu tutaweka pesa fulani Tana River, area hizi ambazo hazijashikwa na simu zipate. Mwaka ujao itakuwa ni gatuzi lingine. Mwaka wengine, je, kuna mpango mwafaka? Na kama huko, tafadhali weka kwa meza ama table ili tuione na tujue huo mpangilio na pesa ambayo serikali imeweka kwa ajili ya kueneza. Sio sisi kuja kuuliza maswali, yani tuwe na mpangilio sawa sawa. Waziri, tueleze. Asante. Asante.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a journalist of good and long standing in this country, I would try to be very clever, Mr. Speaker, because this is a very wide area. I would try to squeeze in it one question. If I fail, just pretend it's one question, Mr. Speaker, so that I can pass a message. It's an important one, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
just ask one question, only one question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the ICTCS is a CS in the 21st century Kenya, not some banana republic in the region or elsewhere. An era where everybody is talking about speeds of communication, not planning to establish networks. Mr. Speaker, my concern, which is now my question, is at what point will we put to an end the planning phase and begin now to deal with current issues of enhancing the speeds of our communications? We cannot be talking about we are planning to roll out network connectivity in the 21st century. That is something we cannot do. Mr. Speaker, can he table maybe in the next time that he appears a comprehensive list of regions in this country that are not even covered by 2G, because those regions are there, that we know who we are, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Senator Kathure.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the question listed by our colleague from Senator for Turkana County is very, very important in this era. Mr. Speaker, besides those pockets in Turkana County, we remember, especially in Loktang, just the other day there were killings in that area. And one of the reasons why maybe that happened is because there was no proper communication, such that the bandits who came from Ethiopia invaded a village that had no communication network. It is the responsibility of the ICT ministry. It is the responsibility of communication authority to ensure that our service providers have connected networks across the country. And that is why we have this Universal Service Fund, Mr. Speaker. When I was a member in the National Assembly, I cited this fund when I was the chair of Special Funds Committee. And Mr. Speaker, what we established is that a lot of money is just lying in this authority. And I remember that time, the end of state then, President Uhuru Kenyatta once made a remark that that money should be given to the police because that money was lying idle. That was, I think, in 2021. Mr. Speaker, there is no reason at all that some areas have no communication. There is an agreement between the service providers like Safaricom, Airtel, and the rest.